Hello. Good. Hey, everyone. Hi. Thanks, guys. Not sure if this one is not moderated, right, Rachel? Don't think. I'm good, Melissa. I'm good. I like the excitement. Awesome. So welcome, everyone. I'm sure some people will be joining in as we go. My name is Aziz. I'm the Director of Client Services at CareerEdge organization. I work with CareerEdge's employer partners to facilitate paid internships for recent graduates, skilled newcomers, and people with disabilities, people with self-declared disabilities. So I'm happy to be here today. We've partnered with TorontoJobs.ca for a number of years now, and we've been part of the in-person conferences. It's really cool to be part of this this experience on Hopin. I think it's been very smooth so far. I was just in the networking room and was just saying how typically in these conferences, there's no way that I could network right until the last minute of a speaking session, but it's made possible with a platform like this. So happy to be here. So today, my topic of discussion, I actually have two. My first one today, from now till 3:20, will be getting your foot in the door, and more specifically through our internship program and other experiences like paid internships and these sort of entry opportunities into your field. No matter where you are in an experience level, getting your foot in the door can be quite challenging. My second session will be at 3:30, and I'll be talking about video interviewing tips, video networking tips. In this new age, sort of with everything going on, it's pretty important to have a few tips and tricks up your sleeve to be successful. So this first session, getting your foot in the door, we'll talk about the importance of it. I think that's obviously very important, very obvious to all of us that that first step is very necessary. I think we all have some things in common, though, whether we're experiencing them right now or have in the past, that feeling of really, bumping your head up against the wall and hearing, all right, what do I need for this job? Well, you need experience. All right, how can I get experience without the job? And this kind of ongoing cycle that exists, right, within when you're trying to enter, whether in our program, whether it's the new graduates who are looking for their first experience, or skilled newcomers who are looking for a Canadian experience. It's really hard to kind of get that foot in the door. So I'm going to be talking about our program as a whole. I think there's probably a number of you that are familiar with CareerEdge. This will be the sort of getting your foot in the door will act as a information session for our program and how our program allows you to do exactly that. And then what happens once you do have that foot in the door, and how internships and these opportunities can really make sure that not only that foot stays in the door, but the rest of you follows, and really make sure that you're set up for success and for a meaningful career launch. So I do have a slide deck here. Be talking about, I think everyone can see this, correct? Now, this okay? Yeah, looks good. Thank you, Melissa. This, I'm not sure if I can maximize it all, or that's kind of it for the window, right? But I think that's okay. So I'll kind of be going through what the program meant for myself in getting my foot in the door, but also then how it works for, typically within helping others. So I myself actually am a alumni of our program. I'm a part of a group of over 13,000 people that CareerEdge has helped get that foot in the door and get that first experience in their field. When I came out of school, I came out of York University with a communications degree with honors, did all the right things, completed all my assignments and essays and group work and everything on time, and had good grades and everything like that. And then I really struggled in starting that career out. There's I think obviously a few internal reasons, you learn some things and some mistakes and some advantages and things like that. But then there's external reasons that can be out of our control sometimes too, and that make it very difficult to get that foot in the door. Those are what we call barriers, right, to finding that employment. So in my case, I had a severe lack of a professional network around me. I think I had all my peers and my friends and things like that in school. We were all kind of in the same boat. But when it came time to graduating, most of my friends had either, family connections, things like that, that I necessarily didn't have at my disposal as a first generation Canadian. So obviously some of those network connections, especially in the field that I wanted to go to, my family, my uncles, my cousins, my parents couldn't really help me out too much with, just because of being relatively new to the country and not having those established roots. So I think that's a barrier that a lot of people do face. So in my journey, I kind of was looking at, all right, well, great, you have a cousin that got you a job here. Awesome, your uncle got you a job here. Hey, this person who connected you. And I'm trying to find these opportunities and I can't. And so I through a very quick Google search, I found Career Edge, and I actually thought it was a little weird that I hadn't heard of the program before as a recent graduate. It's created for recent graduates, for people that are looking to get their first experience. And the thing that was most important to me is it was all with reputable, kind of well-branded, well-known companies that would look good on a resume. So Career Edge in a lot of ways acted almost as that uncle or as that cousin that helped me make those connections. So I was able to get some interviews and some applications across that I don't think I would have otherwise if I applied through, say, like careers pages of these top employers or other websites, even where there might be some, I'm competing with sort of an open market of everyone and anyone. What ended up happening was I got an internship at Career Edge through our program. So we hire interns to develop them and then to retain them to be part of our team. So I went in through the marketing route and learned a lot in my time as an intern, and was able to take those experiences, the coaching, the mentoring that I received, the networking opportunities, and really then turn them into a full-time opportunity and turn them into I was lucky enough to turn them into a position where I could then be in an opportunity to help others the same way that I was helped, which for me was really cool. So if that's a bit of my story, we'll hopefully I'll try to go through our general slide deck here pretty quickly, and then I'd love to open it up to some questions and things like that. I know we're pretty tight. And I just ate up almost half of it, so I feel kind of silly. But we can kind of go through the presentation here. So Career Edge, who is Career Edge? What is Career Edge? We're a non-for-profit internship program that was started in the mid-90s with really a big crisis that existed at the time with unemployment, and a lot of key private sector organizations and some public sector came together to create this program that would help individuals break those employment barriers. So we emerged out of something that was very philanthropic and very good socially, and that still remains, and that social mandate in helping others and partnering with employers who want to do that remains to this day. So the internship really allows individuals who are looking to kind of launch their career meaningfully in their field. It allows them to do that, right, and to connect with top employers that will allow them to do so. So I very quickly mentioned that we've helped more than 13,000 individuals launch their careers. So me being one of those individuals, and really the internship, or that that opportunity to get your foot in the door, the most important part is that this stat right here. So almost 80% of individuals that come through our program, or that have come through our program in the last couple of years, have received full-time opportunities following the internship. So that's really the power of getting that foot in the door, getting that first experience, getting that internship, is the ability to then hopefully have staying power, right? So where our program helps exactly do that, get your foot in the door, the relationship then is between you and the employer in doing that and facilitating that growth, hopefully. And that's really what we want to see with everyone that comes through our program. Let's see what the next one is here, the slow moving graphics. A big part of it that I mentioned is the partnership that we have with the employer partners that work with us. So I'm very proud of this because, again, mentioning that it is all top sort of reputable companies that are looking for people in the fields of finance and banking, telecom, government, transportation, retail, consumer packaged goods, all really on a corporate front office sort of clerical level. We don't really do anything in nursing, in the trades, or anything that requires really sort of set certifications like that. But really any of these fields are represented in our history in helping people get that first experience. So some of these companies you'll see listed here obviously are very familiar household names that having on your resume is absolutely amazing, even if it is a 4-month stint or 4-month contract, 6-month contract. Being part of cultures like this and organizations like this from an early stage will really allow you to get set up for success in your field. So how does Career Edge work? This is a good quote here from a managing director at RBC, is that it's not just a marketing effort. That's actually what I thought when I first applied for the program, was because I had never heard of it, and because it had roles that I was looking for, because I had companies that I was looking for, it almost sounded a little too good to be true. That was 3.5 years ago. I think that some people still have that sort of idea that it might be too good to be true in terms of like finding opportunities. Given this current context with COVID, those opportunities have decreased, obviously, and that's something that we're really working towards and increasing, and just creating more opportunities for people to, again, be able to get that first experience, that foot in the door. And that foot in the door doesn't necessarily have to be getting the internship itself. That foot in the door can be in the way of networking, of meeting the right people, of having the right interview, making a mistake in an interview that's set up through our program, and learning from that mistake. And that's in itself a way to get, you have your foot in the door of interviewing and just that whole cycle of looking for a job. I think that's very important to also. It might sound simple, but that is also a thing that needs to be sort of entered and approached in a systematic, logical way. So the program, we designed our program, again, going back to the mid-90s in our creation, to really help people change lives. It's not just, find a job, work here for 2 weeks, get a paycheck, and then move on to your next thing. The program was really designed so that people around them and their families and friends could be impacted by meaningful careers and meaningful opportunities. So for that reason, our program is based on 4 key pillars or elements that kind of comprise an internship, but these are also things outside of our program, I think, just as general advice, that you should be looking for when you've gotten that foot in the door, or you're expecting to. It's sort of a good checklist of things to be looking for in companies, because I know that it could be pretty tempting to go through a job board and then just apply to every position that's on the job board. And I've done that. I've applied to, as someone who's very personable and has a communications background, I've fallen for the postings of, marketing position for, non-for-profit, and then you go and it's like a B2B door-to-door tough sales position where you're just outside in the rain and you're on, it's not quite what you're envisioning when you're picturing a career launch for yourself. So I'd say when I'm going through these key pillars, these, yes, are elements of our program once you have an internship with our employer partners, but these are also elements that you should be exploring when you're looking for different opportunities. And will this position be able to provide these different elements, or will this company as a whole be able to provide these different elements? It could be tough to sort of figure that out when you're just looking from the outside, but that's why connecting with people on LinkedIn, asking the right questions to people in similar positions as you're trying to get into is very important. So when you are looking for these positions, I would say it's very important to weigh out what type of opportunity exists in that organization for coaching and mentoring, for experiential learning. So really making sure that you're not going to go in and really waste your time, waste the employer's time, and not be getting great value of it. positions and companies and cultures where you're really truly getting a learning opportunity. And also this kind of goes to the LinkedIn thing and doing the research. Knowledge transfer is something that is very important and comes from working with people who have experience. So now in today's new climate, whether it's a video call or a Skype chat or Teams chat or whatever it may be, or on Slack, someone that has more experience exchanges some thoughts with you, and you learn in that way. Knowledge transfer is a big part of our program. And then the final pillar is our networking opportunities. So again, all four of these are elements that you can be looking for in organizations, kind of searching up, what companies provide good coaching, mentoring, training, who's really famous for it or popular in how they do the development of their talent, and kind of doing that research. But we'll kind of get into what it means in the sort of guise of our program as a whole, of once you've gotten that foot in the door. So the coaching and mentoring piece is, so basically every career edge intern, right from the beginning, they're assigned a coach and a mentor. They need to be, and we work with our employer partners to make sure that that's a person who is going to be able to provide them with the best possible advice and experience. It's someone who really provides that support and guidance. I'll speed along here now. I'm at 3:16. The next element is experiential learning. So again, I kind of went through this. Hands-on, work-integrated learning. You're really extending those skills that you have, and this is something that, when we have a little bit of downtime, and depending on what the field you're in, I know it could be tough, but finding ways to do that even outside of certain employment, whether it's side projects or just, certain passion projects or things like that. I know in some areas it's harder to do that than others, but really making sure that even the process of applying to jobs and sort of working through that and getting video interviews and everything is experiential learning, right? And then the knowledge transfer I talked about, that's obviously learning from professionals who have experience in the field. And the most important element there is the networking. So while I have a few minutes here, I think we had some testimonials and things like that that talked about, why it's so great to get your foot in the door, why that helps, why having a community partner like Career Edge is very important in doing so, because those two sort of cliche expressions of it's not what you know, it's who you know, and you can't get experience without a job, can't get a job without experience. They're cliches, but they're cliches for a reason, right? And they always do stand out. So when you are trying to get that foot in the door, the being aware of the time here, I'll just leave you with one final piece and then maybe a couple questions. But when you are trying to get that foot in the door, really making sure that you're putting yourself in a position to really receive all of those opportunities, and connecting with the right people and the right organizations to help you do that, rather than trying to tackle it all on your own. Because I know that's sort of the almost natural reaction, is to just kind of do it for yourself and go on and just kind of blindly proceed. But really making these connections, attending events like these, are all steps in the right direction to getting that foot in the door. I have 1 minute. I wish this was 30 minutes instead of 20, but if we have a quick question of anyone's, I'm happy to answer. A few frequently asked questions. Our internships are 4 to 12 months long. It's free to register, free to have a profile on our website. There's no cost associated. Again, the platform is free to use for candidates. The opportunities are obviously minimal now with COVID and with everything that's going on, but I'd say stay posted, register as a candidate. And you can, as for an email, I prefer that you could add me on LinkedIn. So my name is here. I think, let's see if I go all the way through this. Value, testimonials. Here we can skip through questions, FAQs, and yeah, you can find on LinkedIn there. you can we can get in touch on LinkedIn, and then we can kind of go from there. If you know, we can help out, I'd be very happy to connect. So please add me on LinkedIn. I hope that I can get to your questions as soon as possible. But yeah, if not, please register on our website. Take a look through, and yeah, start applying for some opportunities when we have them. Do we have enough like Rachel? Can we keep going, or does this stop? Am I just out now, or I think so. Can you guys still hear me? Are we okay? Yeah, because I think it's supposed to be 3 to 3:20 with a little break. But I saw the question. Works for people with a lot of experience but new to Canada. Yeah, so our skilled newcomer program is intended to help people that do have experience really get that Canadian experience, because oftentimes you're in a similar boat as a recent graduate, right? Where the recent graduate might not have any experience and they're looking for on-the-job training, experiential learning, all these things. A skilled newcomer is facing a similar challenge in a different way, where you have experience, you have a skill set, you have a background in a certain field, but you don't have that Canadian experience with a Canadian company in a Canadian office. So really the internship or the opportunities that we present for skilled newcomers are less so almost about the training and all the skills that are being developed, and more so the sort of the cultural piece of being in a Canadian workplace and kind of really getting that experience and being able to take it to you know, further in your career. So can one test out multiple internships? So the internships are reserved for new individuals, so that's to make sure that more people are getting more opportunities. It's really meant to have that element that gets your foot in the door, and then you're set up, you're an alumni of our program, and hopefully you can have a full-time opportunity afterwards. That is one of the eligibility requirements for our program, is that you have not done a career edge internship in the past. So yeah, it is reserved for sort of first-time users of the program. So I see a question, 2.5 years of experience in Canada, would you be eligible for the program? So in our skilled newcomer eligibilities, and this would be a great time to cover these now because I think I sped past them, but with our skilled newcomers, to qualify for our program, you just have to have been in Canada for less than 5 years and have at least 3 years of work experience in your home country. Having work experience in Canada obviously is very helpful to go along with that, and obviously looks great on a resume, but those qualification requirements for our program are less than 5 years and more than 3 years of work experience. And then for the recent grads, it's less than 3 years out of college or university with minimal experience in your field. And so we've seen people with, the minimum is 3. On average, we usually see 5 to 7 or 7+ years of experience. So, 10+, while you probably wouldn't be applying for very entry-level positions. We do have some more mid-level internships that do come up that are very much suited for an experienced professional. And in that case, that definition of internship changes a little bit too, and it's more of a sort of preliminary contract or a trial in a Canadian work environment, more so than like an internship for a brand new grad who's photocopying and faxing, and not that anyone faxes, but like doing things around the office in a very minimal kind of way. Those internships are very much based in real full-time responsibilities. So I see a question on the registration process. So we can actually go back now that I have just a little bit more time. I'm actually sharing my screen and then find things. Sorry, just a second here. All right. So I'm going to exit out of this. I promised you guys we wouldn't skip through. So we can kind of go through process here. It might not, I don't even know if it's in the slide deck. You can, so on careeridge.ca, it's very simple when you go through. There's two options of, you're a job seeker or you're an employer. I would just visit our website. It's www.careeridge.ca. And you can apply there to be, or you can register as a job seeker there. It's uploading your resume. It's also completing a video interview. That used to be a mandatory part of our program. Now we use as sort of an optional piece that actually looks, that will look good to employers who do request them. So it does help to record a video interview, but setting up your profile is very simple, very quick. It's a matter of just uploading that resume, doing a video interview if you so choose, and then you can start applying for positions. There is no age limit. So it really just depends on if you fit into those program requirements. So sometimes we even have recent graduates who, graduated high school, went to university, did the whole traditional route, started a career, and then maybe 5 years in, they changed paths and did a different program. And they still, when they come through our program, they can be considered a recent graduate. The program is not open for current post-secondary students. The only exception that we do have, and that the reason for it is because we do offer, or we try to facilitate full-time opportunities that can range anywhere between 4 to 12 months. So it really doesn't work if you get a 12-month internship. It doesn't really work with having to go back to school and things like that. So we don't do like summer co-ops and positions where you're in between years. But the only exception that we will make is if all of your coursework is completed and the final thing that you need to graduate is a co-op or internship, then you can qualify for a program. Because our mandate is to launch those careers, we want to make sure that we're helping individuals who are fully ready to work as soon as they get the internship and following the internship. So I see the question, are these internships not suggested for people with 10 plus years of experience? I think with that much experience, it's a bit more, I wouldn't say not suggested, because we definitely have helped people that are more experienced and are on that side of 10 plus years. It just really, I think it depends on the opportunity, and of course the willingness to accept a quote unquote internship, right? And what that means, and not having a sense of, well, I'm not an intern, I have a bunch of experience in my home country. You're not going to be an intern in the traditional sense. You're still going to be, if you're a financial analyst, it's a financial analyst position, but more so of a contract where they're really, the employer is getting a feel for how you work, and hopefully creating an environment that you want to stay in, that they want to keep you, and that just creates further success. I have 2 minutes, so I'll probably get going now, because I do have another session that starts at 3:30. But again, please do add me on LinkedIn, visit careeridge.ca. The opportunities that are on our board, again, are minimal at this point. There's still a few really good opportunities with really good employers, and we're really doing our best to bring more opportunities that you could be applying for, and that will help you launch your career and help you get your foot in the door. So with that being said, I'll let you guys go. If you want, my next session starts in a minute. It's video interviewing tips and networking tips. That's kind of just real tangible advice that you can put into play. So please join me in that session. Otherwise, we'll catch you on LinkedIn most likely. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.